my mom came up with this plan to get rid of him, but I could have let her do that herself.
So you took care of it?
Yeah.
Going into season 3, we all know Tariq wants out of the game, but one thing always leads to another, and even though he had 3 months downtime, he returned to Stansfield and found himself deeper in the drug game than ever before. Wrapped around Nomar and Obi's thumb pushing drugs and guns, Tariq, Brayden, Kane and Effie were forced to replace Mecca. Now in episode 6, we saw a few different layers to Tariq St Patrick. We saw him confronting every single one of those who had a hand in the murder attempt of Lauren. He broke up with Effie and kicked her and Brayden out of the business. He even went as far as throwing hands at Brayden, but he didn't dare try that shit with Kane.
You come at me next? Please try, because that'll make my motherfucking day.
Okay, nobody's worried about you, right? You did exactly what I expected you to do, and that's why I had to get Lauren the fuck out of here in the first place.
And this is one of the things I loved about this scene. Tariq may have thrown his hands at Brayden, but Kane definitely let him know that would make his day if it came for him. Kane also told Tariq they did what needed to be done, and I definitely agree. Lauren was a liability and she had to be taken care of, but he also let Tariq know the Lauren kill would never come back to him. One of the principles of the 48 Laws of Power is have others do your dirty work, keep your hands clean, and that's exactly what Kane did. He kept his hands clean by telling Brayden to take care of Lauren. Although the reason why Tariq wasn't surprised by Kane's betrayal was because that's something he'd expect from Kane, especially after last season. Now Tariq confronted all 3 while keeping his cards really close to his chest. He didn't let it slip, Lauren is alive, and that's the problem. None of them know Lauren is alive apart from Tariq, but sooner or later they're all gonna find out, and when they do, Kane's not gonna be happy with either Brayden or Effie, and Effie's in some deep shit. Now in episode 6, not only did we see a ruthless streak from Tariq St Patrick, but we also saw a caring side. He had Grandma Estelle move to wherever Tashmin and Yasmin are, and with Tariq's final weakness out of the way, he's now targeting Noma's daughter in an attempt to get out from under her thumb. But is going after Noma's daughter a mistake? This is the theme of this video. Despite Tariq making some very clever chess moves in episode 6 and showing a streak of ruthlessness, did he make a mistake by sharing too much information to Effie? This is something I'm going to come back around to with Effie being roped up by law enforcement after we've dissected some of the moves he made with Grandma Estelle, something which also might have uncovered Obi's weakness. Now those who are still lucky enough to have their grandparents around, just look how happy they are with all the kids and all their grandkids running around. 2 people have created this room full of happiness and joy, and at that age, that's all they live for. They just want to see their kids happy. But what does Grandma Estelle have left? She's all alone and she blames Tariq St Patrick, which even dates back to season 2.
Every evil that has befallen this family is because of you!
Tariq knows he's to blame for Grandma Estelle being all alone, and also partly to blame for the St. Patrick's demise, so he knows he had to get Grandma Estelle to Tasha and Yasmin, but the other reason being is because that was Tariq's final weakness in New York. He knew for as long as he was under Nomar and Obi's thumb, Grandma Estelle would never be safe, and Tariq never had plans of leaving New York. This was a very clever decoy because he knew Obi would follow him, which meant nobody would be watching Grandma Estelle. So with Grandma Estelle now safe, there's nothing Obi can threaten him with. Now there is something else I do want to touch on that came from this meeting with Obi.
With what? I was going to make a drop with your fucking product that you just ruined. So I'll be sure to mention that to Noma when we're short at the next meetup, alright?
You won't say shit to Noma.
Tariq is a very smart kid, and even though we're going to come to one of his mistakes with Effie in just a moment, something he is doing is playing between Nomar and Obi. Obi hates Tariq St Patrick and the rest of the crew, and we all saw the look on his face when Nomar said his trial period was over. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tariq uses this to his advantage the next time he meets Nomar. So this is just a side plot to bear in mind, the differing opinions of Nomar and Obi, where Nomar seems to like Tariq St Patrick and sees a bright future for them, Obi doesn't, so that's just something to keep in mind. Now over to one of Tariq's biggest mistakes so far this season.
You know what happened to the dirty cop that killed my sister, right?
You had it coming.
Now we all know Power Book 2 Ghost moves at a very fast pace, and so soon after Tariq found out Lauren was alive, he confronted Effie. But it was during the car journey where I believe Tariq made a mistake. He told her about how he got revenge for Raina St. Patrick by killing Ray Ray, something that he's not told very many people, as well as telling her that he was the one who killed his father Ghost. Now I do kind of understand why Tariq did tell Effie. He was telling her a secret in an attempt to make her do the same, and maybe throwing an indirect threat. If I can do this to my father, then what do you think I'm gonna do to you? But even if Tariq wanted to kill Effie, he couldn't, because he now knows there's a case being built against him and the entire drug operation. But Tariq revealing this info to Effie is huge. Information holds a lot of power. You can blackmail, you can use it as leverage like Kane did with Lorenzo, or you could even potentially use it to save yourself when your back is against the wall with law enforcement or in the street. So what do you guys think Effie could do if her back was against the wall when law enforcement come calling? Before we get into this in a bit more detail, another aggravating factor is Diana.
Effie.
Not only did Tariq spill the beans about his past and end his relationship with Effie, he went straight into Diana's bed and rubbed it in Effie's face, and I don't think that was a good idea either. It was cold and ruthless on someone who at the end of the day was just following the street code. Her reasoning behind what she did was because Tariq gave her no choice. And why were the rules different for Lauren? So to be honest with you, I do have to agree with Effie and Kane, not Tariq. But what Tariq did by sleeping with Diana and rubbing in Effie's face is gonna annoy her even more. Not only did she lose Tariq for handling business, she was also kicked out of their operation, an operation which she helped to build, which is also why Kane said they needed them. It comes back around to human capital. Brayden and Effie bring a certain skill set and certain privilege, so let's not forget she was close to ruining No Cap all Frap, because she was the one who helped them set it up. Luckily for Tariq, Kane calmed her down and promised to slide her over some product, but this brings me on to Effie being pulled in for questioning, and what could she say to save herself? In the trailer for episode 7, we see Effie on Stansfield roof, a rooftop which now has a camera looking on at the locker boxes thanks to Lauren.
You know what? And then I took Tariq to this low-key spot I knew about. There's a roof on top of a Stansfield building.
Now this is a camera that has so far caught Diana, but Blanca Rodriguez and Jenny Sullivan weren't moving in because they wanted more leverage. So if they catch Effie on the rooftop, is that their leverage? This also brings me onto a scene with Effie being chased by the police, and also something I made reference to in my preview for episode 6, a tweet from Alex who plays Effie, and just as a reminder, this is what she said. You guys promised me whatever happens in the second half of the season, you're gonna stick by me. Now initially I did say let's not read too much into a tweet, because we all know how they like to play with us Power fans, but considering what we've broken down with how Tariq's given her ammunition, further damaging their relationship by sleeping with Diana, and this teaser that was released before season 3, could Effie turn and cooperate? Could Effie give law enforcement what they want in exchange for a deal? Because we all know Jenny and Blanca Rodriguez want Tariq St Patrick and their entire drug operation. Something I also mentioned in my Effie character breakdown before the season began was when and if she's pulled into that room by Blanca Rodriguez and Jenny Sullivan towering over her and applying pressure, could she go into survival mode? At the end of the day, Effie doesn't even want to be in the game. She's in the game because she has to be. There's also the fact that Lauren told Jenny Effie was the one who tried to kill her, but this whole case is based around Tariq St Patrick being behind the drug operation, and Jenny wants to bring down the entire operation. So could Effie be given a deal, and could she go into survival mode if she's looking at life in prison, or however many years they're throwing at her? Could that then make her turn? After all, her goal is freedom, so what price is she willing to pay? So with that being said, that's a breakdown of Tariq and Effie's situation, and how even though we saw Tariq making some clever moves in episode 6, did he make one big mistake that could cost him? If Effie's in that room being questioned by Blanca Rodriguez and Jenny Sullivan, and if she sees Lauren's alive, could she go into survival mode? Could she snitch on Tariq St Patrick or the entire drug operation for a deal? Drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and of course if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.